In a world filled with stress, uncertainty, and chaos, we seek something that gives us calm, control, and purpose. Imagine a philosophy that not only helps you think but also live better every day. That is the promise of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that, despite its over 2,000 years of history, remains incredibly relevant. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus were not just theorists. They were individuals who faced the difficulties of life head-on: wars, losses, and the uncertainty that we all experience. However, their teachings are not just relics of the past. They provide us with practical tools to cope with stress, manage our emotions, and find peace amidst the storm. Stoicism is not about avoiding emotions or living without passion. It's about learning to face them with calmness and wisdom. Through this video, you will discover how to apply these ancient principles to improve your daily life, how to handle uncertainties, stress, and even how to master your negative emotions. We will explore the wisdom of these great thinkers and see how it can transform into a practical guide for tackling the challenges of modern life. From how to manage problems that are beyond our control to finding virtue in every action, Stoicism is a philosophy for living better every day. To begin practicing Stoicism, we must first understand its fundamental pillars. 3 key concepts will guide us: the dichotomy of control, virtue as the highest good, and the importance of rationality and wisdom. The first pillar is the dichotomy of control. Stoics taught that there are things we can control and others that we cannot. The key is to focus only on what depends on us, such as our actions, thoughts, and attitudes. Everything else, what we cannot control, like others' opinions, external events, or even the future, we must accept as it is, without allowing it to affect us emotionally. This changes our perspective on how we face problems. Instead of wearing ourselves out over what is beyond our grasp, we learn to concentrate our energies on what we can change. This approach allows us to live with more serenity, reducing the anxiety that arises from wanting to control the uncontrollable. The second pillar is virtue. For the Stoics, true happiness does not come from external pleasures, money, or power. It comes from being a good person, acting with justice, courage, and moderation. Virtue is the highest good and the only thing that is truly under our control. This means that no matter what you face in life, you can always choose to act virtuously. By focusing on virtue, we can find peace even in difficult situations, knowing that we are acting in the best possible way. The third pillar is rationality and wisdom. Stoics deeply valued the use of reason. They believed that the key to living a good life is to make informed decisions based on reflection rather than emotional reaction. By cultivating rationality, we can move away from impulsive responses, managing our emotions more effectively. Wisdom, for the Stoics, is learning to live in accordance with nature, understanding that we cannot control the world, but we can control how we respond to it. Stoicism is not just theory. It is a philosophy designed to be practiced, especially in the most difficult moments of our daily lives. Next, we will explore concrete examples of how you can apply Stoic principles in everyday situations, maintaining calm, perspective, and control. Traffic is one of those problems that are beyond our control. We cannot change the fact that there will be congestion, but what we can control is our reaction to it. A Stoic, in this situation, remembers the dichotomy of control. By accepting that they cannot do anything to speed up the traffic, they focus on what they can change: their attitude. They take a deep breath, use the time to reflect, listen to an audiobook, or simply find peace with the situation. They remember that anger or frustration will only worsen the experience. At work, it is common to have differences of opinion or receive criticism. This is where the principle of Stoic rationality comes into play. When faced with criticism, instead of reacting emotionally or defensively, the Stoic takes a moment to reflect. Before responding, they ask themselves, "Is this criticism valid? What can I learn from it?" By using reason instead of letting emotions take over, you will not only handle the situation better, but also gain respect and improve your work relationships. Home should be a place of rest, but often we arrive burdened with work stress, financial worries, or personal problems weighing on our minds. This is where the Stoic practice of remembering virtue as the highest good is useful. Instead of venting our stress on our loved ones or being overwhelmed by anxiety, the Stoic remembers that their goal is to act with virtue at all times. They think about how to be patient, kind, and understanding, regardless of the circumstances. A few moments of reflection can make the difference between a peaceful evening and unnecessary conflict. Life is full of disappointments. We don't always get what we want, whether it's a job opportunity, a project that didn't go well, or a relationship that didn't work out. This is where the concept of amor fati, the love for fate, comes in. The Stoic learns to accept everything that happens as part of their destiny, seeing even failures as opportunities for growth. Instead of lamenting what could have been, the Stoic asks, "What can I learn from this? How can I grow?" By embracing fate with love, we release our suffering and find peace in every outcome, whatever it may be. These are just a few examples of how Stoicism can help you face daily difficulties. Remember that change doesn't happen overnight. The constant practice of these principles will allow you to live with more calmness, clarity, and a better connection to what really matters in life. Stoicism is not just a philosophy to think about, it's a daily practice to live better. Now, let's explore some exercises you can incorporate into your routine to internalize Stoic principles and develop greater emotional resilience and mental peace. We start with Stoic meditation, a daily practice of conscious reflection. Unlike traditional meditation, Stoic meditation involves focusing the mind on Stoic principles. Think about how you can apply the dichotomy of control in your day, what virtues you want to cultivate, or reflect on your reactions to emotions. Dedicate a few minutes each morning to this conscious reflection. By doing this, you prepare your mind to face the day with clarity and focus. Stoic meditation helps you maintain calm in the face of daily challenges, reminding you of what you can control and what you cannot. One of the most powerful exercises in Stoicism is negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum. This involves imagining the worst possible scenarios in your life, not to fear them, but to be prepared and at peace with any outcome. By visualizing these scenarios, you train your mind to accept the unexpected with serenity. This exercise reduces fear and anxiety because you become familiar with the idea that, even if the worst happens, you will be able to handle it with calmness and dignity. Journaling is a valuable tool in Stoicism. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius wrote daily to reflect on their thoughts and actions. You can do the same to clarify your ideas and strengthen your principles. Each morning or evening, take a few minutes to write about your thoughts, your reactions, and how you applied Stoic principles throughout the day. Ask yourself, what could I have done better? What did the challenges of the day teach me? This exercise reinforces your self-awareness and helps you improve each day. Finally, the nightly review is a fundamental practice to close the day with wisdom. Before going to sleep, review your actions and thoughts from the day. Ask yourself, did I act in accordance with my values? How did I respond to the situations I faced? Were there moments when I allowed my emotions to take over? This final reflection allows you to evaluate your successes and failures without judgment, simply with a desire to improve. It's an exercise in self-compassion and continuous improvement that reinforces your growth as a Stoic. These exercises are simple yet powerful tools to integrate Stoicism into your daily life. With consistent practice, you will start to notice greater emotional resilience, clearer thinking, and an ability to face life with calmness, regardless of the circumstances. Throughout history, many people have embodied the principles of Stoicism in the face of great adversity and success. These stories show us that a Stoic mindset not only helps one survive but also thrive, even in the most difficult circumstances. Let's begin with one of the most famous examples, Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and practitioner of Stoicism. During his reign, he faced great challenges, constant wars, devastating plagues, and the pressure of leading a vast empire. Despite these circumstances, Marcus Aurelius found peace in Stoic philosophy. In his meditations, he wrote about the importance of virtue, the acceptance of fate, and control over his own reactions. His serenity in times of chaos and his ability to act justly, even under pressure, made him a Stoic role model. His story teaches us that even with the weight of the world on your shoulders, you can find calm and direction in Stoic principles. James Stockdale was an American pilot who was shot down and captured during the Vietnam War. As a prisoner of war for over 7 years, Stockdale endured extreme physical and mental torture. However, it was his knowledge of Stoicism that allowed him to survive. Stockdale recalled the teachings of Epictetus, another slave who became a Stoic philosopher, who taught that although we cannot control our circumstances, we can always control our attitude and response. Stockdale used this principle to remain calm under torture and protect his dignity as a human being. His resilience and ability to endure the unimaginable are a testament to how Stoicism can help us overcome even the greatest adversities. In modern times, we find inspiring examples like that of Malala Yousafzai, who at a very young age faced violence from the Taliban for advocating for girls' education. Despite being severely attacked, Malala showed incredible resilience, maintaining her mission and fight for justice. Malala did not allow fear to dictate her life. Her struggle for education, despite threats and attacks, demonstrates the Stoic principle of persevering for virtue, regardless of external circumstances. Her life is a clear example of how Stoicism remains alive today, helping us maintain our dignity and principles even in the face of danger. The psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, author of Man's Search for Meaning, was a prisoner in several Nazi concentration camps during World War II. In the midst of unimaginable suffering, Frankl found the strength to survive by focusing on what he could control, his attitude and the search for a deeper meaning in his experience. Frankl wrote that although he could not control the circumstances of his life, he could always choose how to respond. His story resonates with the Stoic teaching that even in the midst of the greatest suffering, we can always find meaning and dignity. It is a powerful reminder that while we may not control everything that happens to us, we can control how we face it. These examples, both ancient and modern, show us that Stoicism is a philosophy of life that transcends time. Whether it's a Roman emperor, a prisoner of war, an advocate for education, or a Holocaust survivor, Stoicism provided them with the tools to face the unimaginable with resilience, dignity, and courage. You too can apply these principles in your life, turning difficulties into opportunities for growth. Today, we explored how Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, can serve as a practical guide for facing the challenges of modern life. From the fundamental pillars of the dichotomy of control, virtue, and rationality, to examples of people who have applied these principles in times of adversity and success. We've seen how practical tools like Stoic meditation, negative visualization, journaling, and nightly reflection can help us live with greater serenity and mental clarity. These exercises don't require much time, but they do require consistency, and they can profoundly transform your relationship with the world around you. I invite you to incorporate at least one of these exercises into your daily life. You might start with nightly reflection, reviewing your day before bed, or perhaps try negative visualization to prepare your mind for any eventuality. The important thing is to start. With small steps, you can begin to integrate Stoicism into your routine and see how it positively impacts your well-being. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control what happens around us, we can control how we respond. And in that response, we can find peace, focus, and purpose. It's not about eliminating emotions or becoming indifferent to life, but rather about learning to manage our reactions, accepting what we cannot change, and acting with virtue in everything we do. If you apply these principles, you'll find that life's challenges become more manageable. Stoicism can help you stay calm in the midst of chaos, find purpose in difficult moments, and most importantly, live a fuller and more meaningful life, regardless of external circumstances. Ultimately, Stoicism reminds us that true power does not lie in what happens to us, but in how we choose to face it. In a life full of uncertainties, Stoicism offers a clear compass to guide us toward tranquility, wisdom, and purpose. So, are you ready to begin your Stoic journey? The choice is in your hands.